Hello, Bronco fans and football fans everywhere. Welcome to Broncos Breakdown on the MHRT network, as well as my channel, Broncos Breakdown on YouTube. This show is brought to you with emotion, passion, honesty, and of course, my comments as well as yours in the chat. I am your host, Bronco Bill. You know, I wasn't here last week. And it was because, my wife had a doctor appointment about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I knew we'd never be back in time. And I just, I was there to support her. So everything's fine. Everything's fine. It was just, one of those things where I just wanted to be there to support her. So everything's fine. So I'm back here. Well, I almost wasn't back here tonight. Reason being, well, let me show you. When you see this flying around your house, it kind of alerts you that something crazy is going on. And what something crazy was, because it's been under control now, is this. I'll show you. Let me play a little video. Hang on a second, guys. I know this didn't the way you normally start out the show, but anyways, let me just do this now. When you see this flying around, that's Cal Fire plane. And it's flying over my house because there's a fire in the area. So when you see something like that, you have a tendency to think, okay, are we going to evacuate, whatever? Well, we had fire engines in the neighborhood. There was a lot of craziness in regards to, people coming out of their homes and stuff. I'll show you one picture of show you how close it actually was. There you go. That's pretty close. That's pretty close. And yes, I took that with my drone. I didn't climb up on the roof. Took that with my drone. I have a drone certificate, so I'm legal to fly. Well, yeah, legal to fly. Anyways, all right. Enough of that. I just wanted to let you guys know that I was pretty close to calling Madungus and saying, hey, I don't know if I can do the show tonight because I may be evacuated. Anyways, everything's good. It's under control, and we're doing the show. So let's dive right into it. And we're going to start out with Peyton Manning. Yep, Peyton Manning. That guy is always around Broncos stuff, and I like it. I really do like it. I love Peyton Manning. I just wish we had more of Peyton Manning now, as in quarterback. But we'll get into that as the topic of the show says, who is the front runner, referring to quarterbacks. We'll get into that in just a little bit. I've got many, many topics. I have a jackass of the week, and that jackass of the week is a former Denver Bronco. Not good, but didn't happen when he was with the Broncos. Anyways, all right, let's start out. Peyton Manning. When the Broncos were taking bids for ownership, Peyton Manning's name came up a lot. Manning said, and I quote, I love being an ambassador for the Broncos and for the Colts and for the University of Tennessee. Living in Denver, I get to go to a lot of Broncos games. I still feel an attachment to the team, but as far as running a team, I don't think that's on my radar anytime soon, end quote. There you go. The reason why that was brought up is because there was a question that was asked as to would he be interested in being, it's been talked about a lot. Would he be interested in being a head coach? He said no. Would he be interested in being a quarterback's coach? Let me turn this off real quick. And he said no. Then the question came up, and this was all during just some interview or spontaneous chat or whatever. And then the question came up and said, well, when the Broncos were looking for ownership, your name kept flying around left and right. Everybody thought you would be involved. And that's why he said that it wasn't on his radar at this point in time. And I don't blame him. I mean, he's got his Manning cast. He's got his production. I think he's owns a winery or he's making wine or doing something like that. And he gets appearances all the time. I just don't think the guy has time. He's still a father. I mean, he still has kids. And I just don't think he has the time and the effort that it would take to be an owner of any franchise. And he mentioned Tennessee. Well, that's college. That ain't going to happen or would never happen. You mentioned the Colts as being an ambassador. You mentioned the Broncos. But can you imagine being an owner of a organization or a team and all the just, I mean, a constant focus. I can't even begin to imagine the pressure that he would feel. He doesn't have to have that pressure. He doesn't need it. I mean, the guy can go anywhere in Colorado, especially Denver, and the door's wide open. He can walk up to the Broncos. He even said that he still has his key fob to when he played for the Broncos. He still has it. That's how much love the Broncos organization has for this guy. That's how much love Broncos country has for this guy. I mean, he can go anywhere, and it's on the house, basically. So for him to say, no, ownership's not on my radar, I don't blame him one bit. Do not blame him one bit. No need to. No need to whatsoever. All right, let's move on to Courtland Sutton. Now, Courtland Sutton has confirmed he will be at the Broncos mandatory minicamp after not showing up for the Broncos offseason OTAs. OTAs stand for Organized Team Activities. Sutton said, and I quote, "It's been killing me not to be at the OTAs." Well, hold on a second. Okay, you say it's killing you not to be at the OTAs? Well, that was your choice, Courtland. That wasn't Sean Payton's. That wasn't the ownership group. That wasn't anybody but you and your agent, because you want more money and you're holding out thinking full well that the Broncos are going to cave. Now, I'm not saying that they're not trying to work out a deal behind the scenes, which, we don't need to be pervious to. It'll all come out later on if and when it does get done. But the point I'm trying to make, Courtland, is it was on you. You could have taken the high road and shown up. You could have done that. You could have been there with your new, and I put quotes because he's new quarterback and hopefully future franchise quarterback of the Broncos in Bo Nix. But you chose not to. Well, who stepped up? That's right. Who stepped up? And that person that stepped up was Mims. And now Mims is looking to be the featured receiver. Why? He was there. But I'm going to get into some other Courtland Sutton things or an issue that could possibly happen. Don't know if it will. But I'll tell you what, there's a lot of different things that are moving in Broncos camp and Broncos organization that could lead to a Courtland Sutton departure. Let me continue with what I was saying. And I'm still quoting. This has been a very different offseason than I've been a part of since I've been in the league, end quote. Well, of course it's been different. You signed a 6-year contract, and now you want more money because you made some spectacular catches in the end zone. I applaud you. I was like amazed at the catches you made, Courtland, in the end zone. But does one season and 10 touchdowns guarantee you a, I don't know, 3 to 5 to 7 million jump in your salary? I don't know. I don't think so. I'm not the owners. I can't make that decision. I'm not George Payton. But what I can say is, do you think that garnishes you up to another 7 million because of those 10 catches? Are you trying to tell me that each one of those catches is worth almost $1 million? Well, if the Broncos would have made the playoffs, if they would have won the division, if they would have gone deep in the playoffs, then yes, possibly. Yes, because it was because of those great catches, but not just 10 of them. There's 17 games, Courtland, 17 games. You barely caught over half of those games with a touchdown, one touchdown. Now, you may have had several or a couple in a game, but I'm just saying it equates out to 10 catches or 10 touchdowns, 17 games. You got a little over half of what is what allotted, not allotted, but is what is expected. I mean, just a little bit over half. That's it. Little over half. So hey, if you can get the money, get it. I don't know if Denver is going to pony up for that, but I do know a team that is willing to. And here it comes. Here it comes. The Steelers with Russell Wilson in Pittsburgh and Courtland Sutton wanting a pay increase. Could he be reconnected with Russell Wilson in Pittsburgh? Now, remember, Russell Wilson was the one that was throwing those ridiculous, crazy passes that Courtland Sutton had to go up and make these incredible catches. Could Courtland Sutton be on the outside of Denver and on the inside of Pittsburgh with Russell Wilson again? Is that a possibility? Let me continue. According to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, Sutton is due $13.6 million this season, and many insiders believe a raise would put him in the $20 million per year range. Okay, fine. Is Denver willing to pay him $20 million? I don't think so. I mean, why? If they wanted to, why is it taking this long? I mean, I'm just saying, Courtland Sutton had made some great, amazing catches. I will not take that away from him. In fact, I applaud him. Those are fantastic. But I'm not quite sure that Denver, I think Denver's going to try and go somewhere in the middle. He's owed 13.6, and he's looking in the neighborhood of close to 20. Okay, well, why not scale it back and make it 16.5 or 17? Okay, what's wrong with that? I don't see a problem with that. The only problem that I do see is not with giving him the money, but is he going to have the same type of results with a Bo Nix, Jared Stidham, or Zach Wilson? That we don't know because he never showed up for the OTAs. So how do we know? And guess what? The mandatory mini camps are only 3 days. Is he going to show a whole lot in 3 days? I don't know. I don't think so. It's just, this is what bothers me about athletes. They want more money because of what they've achieved. Okay, I'll give them that. But then don't hold out. Go to the OTAs, go to the mini camps, go to wherever you can to prove that, hey, I'm worth this. When you hold out, you're showing your childhood side. I want to go home. I want more money. That's stupid. That is absolutely stupid. I worked at a place in the shipyard here, Southern California, San Diego County, and we went on strike for 3 weeks. And not that I didn't want to, but we went on strike, and it absolutely pissed me off because I lost so much money in those 3 weeks. Never really recoup it. I mean, you get a raise because they finally cave in, and you get a raise, but you don't get that much, and you never recoup that loss that you endured. You don't, and you can't go on unemployment, and it's just I hated it. So holding out for anything to me is ridiculous. Work it out, do what you got to do, stay on the field, keep your nose to the grindstone, so to speak, and let your agent and the GM hash it out. Why are you trying to put up a babyish comment and by not showing up? I know it's voluntary. I understand it's voluntary. Doesn't matter to me. If you want to prove that you're worth your weight in gold or your salt or whatever the cliche and saying is, show freaking up. Do your due diligence. Show them that you're worth it and take the higher road. No, he didn't do that. And that, to me, puts a very, very sour taste in my mouth. Very sour, very bitter taste in my mouth when it comes to Courtland Sutton. Do I hope he stays on the team? Absolutely. But I'm not quite as enamored by him as I was before all of this. And it's all because he's acting childish, in my opinion. And I just absolutely do not like it. All right, let's get to the chat before I guess I should finish this up real quick. Let's see. I'm sorry. I said Sutton is due 13.6 million this season, and many believe 20. Okay. The Steelers currently have around 18 million in cap space with a few rookies left to sign. What would Pittsburgh have to give up to Denver? Well, it's hard to imagine they would need to exceed a third-round draft pick for a 28-year-old wide receiver. Wow. Third round? Okay, well, maybe it's all well and good, but do I want to see do I want to see Courtland Sutton joining Russell Wilson on the Steelers? No, I do not, because we play Pittsburgh this year. I don't want two guys coming back hating us. No, I don't want that. I don't want that at all. And you know, can you imagine now? I'm only going to throw this out, guys, but it's going to make me sick to say it. But can you imagine the Broncos and the Steelers in Denver, Mile High Stadium, and Russell Wilson and Courtland Sutton hook up for one of those ridiculous touchdown catches and they beat us? Ooh, I think I would throw up right then and there. Right then and there. That would be gut-wrenching. Absolutely gut-wrenching. All right, let's get to the chat. And McDouglas Creevy is batting leadoff, and the chat says, I think he deserves to get paid more than Judy. I think that's the big issue. Okay, well, you could be right. You could be right, but I just don't like his attitude. I just don't like his attitude of holding out. That's never anything that I've agreed with. I mean, I know people protest. I mean, heaven forbid, we have protests in college campuses. I'm not even going down that road. But anyways, I mean, you can do it. I don't know. I don't like it in sports. I don't like it in sports when you're trying to get more money. And I know it happens in the working class. Mom and pop stores, or like I mentioned when I used to work at the shipyard, that kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, it happens, but I'm just not a proponent of wanting to do that. I'm just letting them do it behind the scenes. Let me just continue to work and do what I'm doing. All right. Big E Bronco is batting second in the chat. Says, Bill, did you watch DNVR today? Courtland Sutton done an interview. He said he wanted to be at OTA, but his agent told him not to be, and he will be at mandatory. Yes, I am absolutely bringing that very topic here in just a few more topics. We'll be bringing that. Yes. Thanks, Biggie, for bringing that. Awesome. And Biggie also follows up and says, and every time we talked about the Broncos, he said he didn't say them. That's good. I don't think Courtland Sutton wants to leave. I really don't think he wants to leave. But the reason why the Pittsburgh Steelers are interested is because they would love to have a Courtland Sutton with his explosiveness and, his ability to catch some crazy, ridiculous balls that are thrown by whomever. No, by Russell Wilson. And Russell Wilson's on the Steelers, so why not match him back up? That's why Pittsburgh is interested. Denver has taken many, many phone calls in regards to Courtland Sutton. They haven't done any deal, which is good. And I don't think Courtland Sutton wants to leave. I really don't. I don't think he wants to leave. But if it comes down to money and Courtland Sutton's more focused on money than, being on a Bronco team that, in my opinion, can only go upwards. They can only go upwards. I mean, seriously, can we lose more than we did when we were 5-12? Sure the heck hope not. Oh my gosh, I cannot envision that. Nor do I want to envision that. All right. Kilmer. Hey, nice to have you in the chat. First time I haven't seen you. You are batting third. I really do appreciate it. It says, I agree. If Courtland Sutton thinks he deserves more money, then he should go to OTAs. Exactly. Thank you, Kilmore, for proving my point. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You don't hold out, because then that sends the negative message to the ownership and to the GM. Well, he's going to hold out if he doesn't get his way. What, he's going to take his ball and go home? I want more money. Yeah. Well, then go out and prove it. And he said, oh, well, I proved it last year. No, that's okay. But now this is a new year. OTAs are in full swing. Why are you holding out? Show your teammates that you're an absolute upright person, that you're a team player. You don't sit there and do that to your teammates. You think Mims is sitting there going, man, I got an opportunity. This guy held out, man. I got an opportunity. But what else is he thinking? Wow, is this guy a team player? Is he going to bail out on us when things don't go right during a game? Is he going to get alligator arms because he wants more money and didn't get it? It's just, that's what I mean. It just irritates me so much that these guys act so prima donna. I mean, Cortland Sutton at $13.6 million is making more than I'll ever see in my entire life, ever. And he's crying? And I know that they take punishment on the football field, but it's not like it was in yesteryear. I guarantee you that, man. Go back and watch some of those YouTube videos of games of the Pittsburgh Steelers, speaking of them, the Dallas Cowboys, teams like that, especially Pittsburgh, they were mean and nasty. I mean, they had Mean Joe Green. I mean, when his nickname's Mean, they're nasty. How about the Oakland Raiders? They were nasty. Go back and watch some of those and some of the hits, the LA Rams. Watch some of those hits, man. It's just would be unheard of, absolutely unheard of today. Absolutely unheard of. And so do I think he deserves the money? I don't know. I'm not his agent, but I'm just saying I just don't like the childish attitude when it comes to these professional athletes who are super talented and, make millions of dollars, and they have to literally, act childish when they're making more money than any of us, most of us, I should not any of us, but a lot of us won't see in our entire lifetime. All right. Madungus Creevy says, and I can't say he's batting cleanup, but he's batting a leadoff. Anyways, fourth topic, comment says, yeah, he isn't going anywhere else. I think Denver pays him next offseason based on this year's numbers. Well, first we got to get him into camp. First, we got to get him on the team. I don't want him to hold out on the team. I don't know if he will. I don't know if he would want to, but in my opinion, that'd be foolish because that would send another negative message. So hopefully Denver does hang on to him. They don't let him go. But that's a good point. That's a good point. They probably, most likely, I should say, should hold off until next year based on what he does this year. But that might be a little tricky, Madungus, and here's the reason why. Last year, he had a veteran quarterback throwing the ball. Yes, Russell Wilson, veteran quarterback, Super Bowl champion. Yeah, he wasn't the Russell Wilson of old, but he still got the ball there. Is a Bo Nix going to be like that guy? Jared Stidham? Zach Wilson? I don't know. But it's ironic, though, that if the Broncos decide to hold out and say, okay, we'll pay you at the end of this season's numbers. Well, nothing's guaranteed for Cortland Sutton. He doesn't know if he's going to get the ball. I mean, Jerry Jeudy's gone now. He's gone to Cleveland. So he may get a lot more balls than he did. But is that going to translate into a better season stat-wise than last year? I don't know. Be interesting to find out. But that's a really good possibility, though, Madungus, that they could wait until the end of this season. Good point. Okay. I am not talking about, I'm talking about take your ball and go home. Talk about this freaking Madungus, man. You crack me up, dude. Crack me up. Let's see. Biggie said Denver already turned down a trade from Pittsburgh for Cortland Sutton. Pittsburgh offered Pat Fairmont to Denver for Cortland Sutton, and Denver said no. I would say no too. Absolutely say no. No questions, Well, yeah, that's true. Talking about hard hits, yeah, go watch John Lynch. Biggie says, go watch John Lynch. Go watch Bill Romanowski. Very true. Very true. And then Biggie follows up by saying Bo Nix will be more consistent, spreading the ball around a little bit more and create more opportunities for Cortland Sutton. I hope so. I really hope so. I mean, with Cortland Sutton there, and then we got Mims. And then we have, hang on, I got Troy Franklin. In fact, that's my next topic, actually. Then we got Troy Franklin. So, yeah, there's a lot of receivers out there for Bo Nix / Stidham / Zach Wilson to get the ball to them. but there's also other players other than Cortland Sutton. It's going to be interesting, especially if Bo Nix, and I say it, don't start blowing up the chat when I say this because I'm going to get to it. If Bo Nix is a starting quarterback for the Broncos, I'll get into that. If you look at the topic once again, it says who's the front runner. That's referring to the quarterbacks who Sean Payton thinks is going to be or wants to be the starting quarterback. I have a little twist to that in regards to how he addresses rookie quarterbacks in their very first year. So hang on to that. We'll get to that in just a little bit, just a couple more topics. So here we go. Speaking of Troy Franklin and the Denver Broncos have reached an agreement on a 4-year, $4.875 million. That includes an $854,836 signing bonus per Mike Kliss, 9 News Denver. $854,836 just to sign your signature. You know what? I'd take about half of that to sign my signature. That's for doggone sure I'd do that. But I don't have the talent this guy has. But I'm just saying, I mean, that's just remarkable. You're in college one moment, not making, hand over fist. I mean, not making anything, scraping the bottom of the barrel, so to speak. You sign a contract on the dotted line, and they immediately hand you a check for $854,836. Must be great to be really, really talented at being an athlete. Must really, really be great. That just blows my mind. I mean, we talk about money all the time or dollar signs and stuff with, $4 billion or, $400 something billion stadium or whatever it is, and or $4 billion, whatever. And then we talk about, a $13.6 million remaining on Cortland Sutton's contract, and we just kind of like in one air and out the other because those are large numbers. But and so is $854,000, a lot of money, but it's under $1 million, and you can kind of wrap your head around that a little bit more. And to me, it's just like mind-boggling that you could be a college athlete 1 minute and millionaire the next. Must be nice. Must be really nice. All right. This is okay. Okay, Big Eve wants to chimes in again. Says that's what I'm trying to say. We'll spread the ball around to other players to work Cortland Sutton. Won't be double teamed, and it will create more big plays for him and more opportunities. That's great. I totally agree. I'm just hoping that they don't double team, and if the other guys are starting to get one-on-one and they're starting to get free and get the ball and make plays, then yeah, they'll have to come off of Cortland Sutton if they double team him. I'm assuming and I'm expecting them to double team Cortland Sutton right off the bat. Now they may not do that with Troy Franklin there, but Troy Franklin is a rookie. So they may not double team him. So, I mean, there's a lot of opportunities. I totally agree, Big E. I totally agree. I just don't know what kind of Cortland Sutton we're going to get. Are we going to get what we got last year? Or are we going to get the one where he kind of like drops balls and, that kind of thing? I don't know. Biggie follows up, says, because Russell Wilson didn't throw the ball to Jerry Jeudy very seldom, 1 out of 20 plays. They checked it down to the running backs a lot. In Cortland was double teamed a lot. I agree. Absolutely agree. Totally makes sense. And I know you said, Mike, am I making sense? Yes, you are. And I'm not Mike, but I know who you're referring to. Anyways, yes, you are making sense. And, I appreciate your comment. Thanks. And me, you're dead on. You're dead on. Okay. This is interesting. And I can't even begin to agree with this, but here it is. With Denver selecting Bo Nix at number 12 in the draft and signing Zach Wilson with Jared Stidham already in the quarterback room, Pro Football Focus has ranked the Denver Broncos dead last at the quarterback position. Hold on a second. Dead last? Seriously. So What are you basing it on? Well, I'll get to what they're basing it on. But my opinion is this. Why is this quarterback room so bad? Okay. Yeah. I mean, Zach Wilson didn't light it up in New York, but then nobody has since really Joe Namath. I mean, if you think about it, nobody's lit it up in New York since Joe Namath. I mean, they got Aaron Rodgers, but he only lit it up for 4 plays last week or last year. And then he went down with Achilles injury. So, I mean, if you're playing in New York, it looks like you're snake bit or Achilles tendon snake bit. I mean, it just hasn't worked out in New York. It really hasn't. And then you've got Jared Stidham. Well, he didn't really have an opportunity in Vegas of the Raiders. I mean, he played a little bit sparingly and whatnot, but he didn't light it up either. And then you got Bo Nix, who is a rookie out of college. And yes, he had a lot of type of NFL type of structured offense when he was in Oregon. That's true. But it's not the actual NFL. It's not the faster speed. It's not the bigger players. It's not the different defenses that he's going to see. It's none of that. So in a way, I can kind of agree. But let me say, before you guys start throwing stones, let me explain why I say I kind of agree. Okay? They're going off the fact that there's no real true hardcore seasoned veteran with great numbers on the Broncos in their quarterback room. I would have to agree with that. But that doesn't necessarily tell me that they are the worst quarterback room in the entire league. I will not buy that. What about the Commanders? I'm just saying, what about the Commanders? They're not. What about let's see, who else is out there? Well, what about the Minnesota Vikings? They got a rookie quarterback they drafted. They do. They have a rookie quarterback. Okay. What about the Chicago Bears? They've got a rookie quarterback. Why aren't they the worst quarterback room? They don't have Justin Fields anymore. So why the Broncos are the worst quarterback room? Why not the Bears? Why not the Jets? Why not the Commanders? Why not the Vikings? You know, I mean, Kirk Cousins isn't there anymore. So they don't have a valid, solid, true veteran quarterback. Okay? Let me tell you what their reasoning was, Pro Football Focus reason was. Here it is. The reasons given are Stidham hasn't been good as a starter, and Zach Wilson was a bust in New York. And I mentioned the reason whys on those. I mentioned the reason on both of those, reason why. Also, Bo Nix is an unproven rookie. I agree. He is unproven because he hasn't stepped foot in an actual NFL game right out of the gate. He hasn't. He's a rookie. He's drafted from the Oregon Ducks. That's true. He has a very good history of success in college. It was an NFL type of offensive play calling that he ran. So is he advanced? Yes. Is he seasoned? No way. Hasn't played a single Bronco game. He looks great in practice, looks great in OTAs, but that's OTAs. That's practice. That's not NFL real live game speed. Is he going to be able to adjust right on the fly? I don't know. I would hope so, but I don't think so. I mean, not too many quarterbacks can just jump right in there and be great. Even Patrick Mahomes didn't start right out of college. He sat behind Alex Smith. You remember that? He sat behind Alex Smith, and I'll get into all of that. And that is the next topic, which is also the main topic for the show. Before I get into that, let's see. Big E Bronco says Brett Favre did pretty good. Yes, he did. But John Elway, he came in right out of the bat, but he had some issues. He had some challenges. He wasn't great right out of the bat. He even lined up behind the left guard instead of the center in one of the games. I mean, it happens to the best. But when you're coming out of college, the game is totally different. I mean, I don't know. I've never obviously never played college football or pro, but I've listened to and heard people say it's just, it's faster, it's harder, it's faster. And it's a learning curve. You've got to learn and basically learn on the fly. And sometimes it just doesn't work. And for the most part, they sit behind a seasoned veteran and they learn that way. Let's see. Chad Pennington, Biggie Bronson said Chad Pennington played really good for the Jets. He did, but the Jets still didn't really go anywhere. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about a franchise quarterback. I'm talking about, a quarterback being that guy. And Chad Pennington never really developed into that. And a lot of players don't. A lot of quarterbacks don't. It's just different. Look at Tim Tebow. I mean, the guy played fantastic for Florida Gators. He won a national championship. Comes to Denver, and I love the guy. I absolutely loved watching him play, the energy, the passion, the fourth quarter drive, so to speak, almost at every game. But it just wasn't going to work in the bigger picture, in the long haul of it. It just wasn't going to work. Defensive coordinators will figure out ways to shut you down. And if you're only one dimensional, you're not going to go too far. You're not going to go too far. But and that's the point I'm trying to make. That's the point I'm trying to make. All right. Speaking of Alex Smith is in the chat. Alex Smith is batting cleanup, I believe, or was that? Oh, you know what? I think that was my bad. I think that was who was that? I think that was Kilmer was batting cleanup. Anyways, Alex Smith is in the chat. He says we have to take a lot of pressure off of Nix. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. But how? You put Bo Nix out there and just do, dink and dunk? I don't know. It's that's what I'm talking about. And that's what we're going to get into right now on this topic. The topic of the show is who is the front runner? Speaking of quarterbacks, this is what Sean Payton thinks of playing rookie quarterbacks. And here it is. Sean Payton has said that the Broncos are in a quarterback competition. This may be true, but Sean Payton believes the following, and I quote, if you have a starter, there you go. If you have a starter in the building, a veteran, then that's the path you go. Oh boy. Did you hear what Sean Payton said? His own words, and I quote, let me say it again. If you have a starter in the building, a veteran, then that's the path you go. Let me continue. I continue quoting. Then sometimes you don't have that luxury. Denver does. Denver has two of them. Denver has two veterans. Says then sometimes you don't have that luxury. So that's the path you go to. When you look at Jordan Love, he sat behind Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers sat behind Brett Favre. Okay? End quote. There you go. That's what he's saying. So basically what he's saying, guys, read between the lines. If he's saying that there is a quarterback competition, he is not willing, right now, he is not willing to start a rookie quarterback. He didn't start a rookie quarterback in New Orleans. He had Drew Brees, not a rookie. He also had Teddy Bridgewater, not a rookie. He never had to start a rookie in New Orleans. He's faced with that situation in Denver this year. But going by what his quote was, going by what he said, if you have a veteran in the building, then that's the path you go. So that tells me it could either be Stidham or it could either be Zach Wilson. Okay? Now, here's the thing. Listen to this, though. So who is the veteran in Denver? Well, Stidham has just a handful of NFL starts, whereas Zach Wilson has 33 starts in the NFL. That said, Bo Nix has started 61 games, almost double of Zach Wilson. Almost double Zach Wilson. However, that was in college. Even though it was similar to the NFL style offense, it still was in college. So Who's the veteran? Well, judging by games, it would have to be Bo Nix, but those are in college. Okay, totally different game played in college. Totally different. 1 foot in bounds for a wide receiver, NFL's 2. That kind of thing. Okay. Second, Zach Wilson has more NFL experience as a starter than Jarrett Stidham. But Jarrett Stidham was on the Broncos last year and saw how Sean Payton runs things. So is he the front runner? I don't know. Nobody knows because Sean Payton is lip tight. He throws out and says, hey, we're in a quarterback competition. It's anybody's game. It's anybody's game to win. It's anybody's quarterback position to gain and to win and to be the starter. Oh, by the way, I'm not real keen on starting rookie quarterbacks because if you got a veteran in the house, we got 2. If you got a veteran in the house, well, going by what he said, then that's what you go with. Okay, well, which one? Stidham? Zach Wilson? Or are you forced, and I use the word forced in quotes, are you forced to start Bo Nix because he was your number 1 pick at number 12? Is that the reason why? I don't think that's what Sean Payton's going to want to do. Absolutely do not think that. So if I had to say that Bo Nix is going to sit on the bench for a year, and I know, guys, I'm just throwing this out there. If Bo Nix has to sit on the bench for at least a year and learn Sean Payton's offense, learn how it's done, which quarterback of the remaining 2, Stidham or Zach Wilson, do I think will be the starter? I would probably have to say right now it would be Jarrett Stidham. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because Stidham played 2 games last year. He went 1-1. Yeah, true, 500. And he also knows Sean Payton's offense because he was there the entire season or most of the season. So, therefore, if I had to venture a guess, I would say that Jarrett Stidham starts the season. I'm not saying he's going to be the starting quarterback the entire season. I'm saying Jarrett Stidham could start the season. Bo Nix could come in at some point in time, even in a mop-up situation, let's say, just to get some experience when the Broncos are either way ahead or way behind. Let's hope for the way ahead. And he comes in a mop-up duty and gets some NFL legs underneath him. But that's what I'm saying. I'm not the head coach. I'm not the GM. I don't see what they see. I'm just saying I'm going by what Sean Payton said. And if he's true to his word, Bo Nix will not start the NFL season in 2024. That, to me, would probably go to Jarrett Stidham for the reasons given that he's already been with the system. Zach Wilson hasn't. He's learning it now, just like Bo Nix. But Jarrett Stidham was there last year, played a couple of games, knows the system. That's all I'm saying, guys. That's all I'm saying. I'm hoping. I'll be honest with you. I could care less who the starting quarterback is. Because if we have a starting quarterback that is going to open up game 1 in Seattle for the Denver Broncos, and it could be either Bo Nix, Jarrett Stidham, or Zach Wilson, I could care less. And here's the reason why. Sean Payton's the head coach. He knows what quarterback is going to produce best with his system. And if that's not Bo Nix out of the gate, and it could be a Jarrett Stidham, then let's just go with who Sean Payton feels is the best. Okay? I mean, plain and simple. We as fans can only sit back and cheer for our team. We can't do anything else. We can't go onto the field and be an athlete. We can't, we're not Sean Payton. We're not George Payton. We're not the ownership. It all comes down to what they see and what fits best after, training camp and all that. And they go into preseason. Now, I understand preseason will give Bo Nix some experience. And I really believe that he's going to play, quite a bit of maybe that first game. But still, it is all gonna come down to what Sean Payton feels is best. And right now, he's never had to insert a rookie quarterback to start a season. And personally, I don't think he's going to start it this year. I really don't. I really don't. I could be wrong. I want the best quarterback back there. I don't care who it is. Zach Wilson, Jared Stidham, or Bo Nix. I don't care. I just want Bronco W's. I want Bronco wins. And if that comes from a Zach Wilson or Jared Stidham or a Bo Nix, great. I don't care. I just want Broncos to win. Period. Period. That's all I want. I don't care who is the quarterback. All right. Okay. Let's say Biggie Bronco says, I take that he's saying Jared Stidham's not Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers. So he's going down the path with the rookie. Whew. Wow. Whew. Wow, Biggie. That's a different angle. I never thought of that. I never thought of that. Wow. Okay. Well, now you made me think of something. That's totally not what I was thinking, obviously, because I ranted and raved about the fact that he's never started a rookie quarterback. And it's just, I don't know, man. That's just that definitely made me think. Hey, Muhammad Badri says, Bill, in the house. I am in the house. And so are you. You are in the chat, my friend. Thank you so much, Muhammad, for showing up. I really do appreciate it, just like each and every one of you guys. Really do appreciate each and every one of you showing up. I know you take your time out of a busy Friday evening. You're getting ready for the weekend. The week is over. If any of you out there have children that are out of school or almost out of school, then that occupies your time. You got weekend issues going on or weekend things going on, fun things, Friday night things. Really do appreciate you guys, each and every one of you, taking your time out every Friday. This crazy 65-year-old Bronco fan jumps on here on Broncos Breakdown and just starts talking about sports for about an hour and 15, whatever. Really do appreciate you guys taking the time. It means an awful lot. By the way, if you have not, please subscribe to my channel, Broncos Breakdown, on MHRT Network, as well as Broncos Breakdown, my channel, YouTube. Please go there, look for the symbol right up here, and please subscribe. Put thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. That's the best way to show your support for the network, MHRT Network, as well as Broncos Breakdown on YouTube. It shows support. It shows the fact that you guys enjoy the content, and really do appreciate it. So please do that. It means the world. Thanks a million, guys. Really do appreciate it. All right. Okay. We are now going to go to the jackass of the week. Okay. This is a former Denver Bronco player. Yeah. Hate to bring him. I hate to bring him. This didn't happen when he was with the Broncos, but it's still a former Broncos player and a Super Bowl champion. All right. Here it is. Brandon McManus is being sued by two women who have accused McManus of sexual assault on the overseas flight to London last season with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Okay. Remember, Broncos cut him. Jacksonville signed him. They go to London. Okay. I continue, guys. Here we go. According to the lawsuit, Jane Doe number 1 accuses McManus of trying to kiss her and twice grinding up against her while she was serving meals. Okay. Jane Doe number 2 alleges McManus grinded up against her while she was serving the second round of meals. This guy's got... Wow. All right. She said McManus smirked and walked away. On the return flight, Jane Doe number 2 stayed in the plane's second level, which is probably a 747. Second level to avoid McManus. Wow, that's how bad this got. The Jaguars didn't re-sign McManus in the offseason, and he signed a one-year deal with the Washington Redskins. Commanders. Whatever. I always say Redskins because that's what they are. So we have a follow-up. We have a follow-up to the Brandon McManus incident. And here it is. Just days after a lawsuit that was filed against Brandon McManus, the Washington Redskins, have released McManus. There you go. Released him. Said, you know what, dude? We signed you to a one-year deal, but no, we're not dealing with this stuff again. We remember Schneider way too well. We remember all that way too well. We ain't going down that road. Okay, let me continue. The Commanders released a statement, and I quote, "We take allegations of this nature very seriously," end quote. This update comes from ESPN's Adam Schefter. So there you go. Brandon McManus officially, as of right now, is out of the NFL. Why? Because he's an idiot. Total idiot. He does things come on, okay? Most likely there's alcohol involved. Well, hello, you think? I didn't write this down, or I didn't get, it's from the article though. He even offered some of the stewardesses $100 each if they would drink alcohol and do a provocative dance in front of him or for him. Really? And nobody on that plane, none of his teammates stepped in. None of his teammates pulled him aside and said, "Hey, Brandon, what the heck are you doing, you moron? What are you, an idiot? Dude, you can't be doing this." Nobody said anything. The article said nobody stepped in. The article even said one of the stewardesses, when he was doing what he was doing, I'm not going to say it again, doing what he's doing with the stewardess, the one that was serving the second meals, he said she looked over and it caught the eye of one of McManus's teammates, and the teammate looked very disturbed and very uneasy. Well, why didn't he get up and do something? It's not like McManus weighs 450 pounds or 350 pounds. He's not a lineman. I mean, the guy that's sitting next to him probably could have handled it. Why is nobody stepping up on these cases? You're in a concealed aircraft. It's not like McManus can run away. I mean, that ain't gonna happen. Why didn't anybody come to the defense of these stewardesses? They're doing a job. They're doing their work. And Brandon McManus, as much as I love the guy, when he played for the Broncos and kicked all those field goals, especially didn't miss a single one in postseason or Super Bowl, but he's not on the Broncos anymore. And when you find out stuff like this, then you really see the true side of a person. And I don't understand. You know, I mean, can't you just chill? Can't you just nip it? You're going across the freaking ocean to London. Take a freaking nap. Go to sleep. What are you thinking? And now his career is most likely over. And it's not because anybody else did anything to him. No, he did it to himself. Every jackass of the week that I ever bring does it to themselves. And not somebody else. They do it to themselves. And, it just makes me, boggles my mind how these people can just, throw their careers away. Absolutely throw their careers away. And, it's, I don't know, man. It's just, boggles my mind. I don't know what the lawsuit entitles. I know that I don't know if they're suing for, probably most likely money, but I also understand that they're suing the Jacksonville Jaguars for negligence. So this isn't going to go away anytime soon. And the Washington Commanders were very smart to cut McManus because of the whole Dan Snyder thing. And so they don't want any more part of that. So they got rid of him before anything could materialize as a Washington Commanders player. So anyways, Brandon McManus, you were great in Super Bowl 50 in that entire year, but you are today's jackass of the week. All right, guys, we're going to cut back into the other topics. So we're going to get out of this jackass of the week segment, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys. Okay, let's see. Alex Smith says, Bill, who would you like our team to start at running back? You know what? I really like that McMillan guy. I liked him, but I also like Williams, Javonte Williams. I just don't know if Javonte is going to be stronger this year than he was last year. I mean, he showed flashes of what he did before he tore his ACL, MCL, LCL, and everything else he tore. So, you know, if he can come back as strong or close to being as strong as he was before he tore that, then I really like Javonte Williams. I really do. I like his speed. He reminds me a lot of Terrell Davis. I don't know why. Maybe that one plant cut and just drags people. Terrell Davis would drag some people, not as many as Williams, but I mean, he would drag some guys. But yeah, I mean, not McMillan. I'm talking about McLaughlin. I'm sorry. I like McLaughlin. So I don't know. I like both of them. How about the 1-2 punch? I like the new guys we got too. The guy we drafted, I like him too. I can't remember his name. It's kind of a unique last name, but I like him too. I think it's gonna be great. Gonna be great. Bronco Bill Ring of Honor. Rob, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Wolfpack for Life 65. Really do appreciate it. Speaking of Ring of Honor, I will get to that right after this very next segment. Here it is. All right, guys. According to Adam Schefter, the Denver Broncos will not be on Hard Knocks. Good. I don't want them on Hard Knocks. I don't want things exposed. Sean Payton likes to keep everything buttoned up, zipped up, tight. Don't tell anybody. Don't say anything. Just shut up. Keep your mouth shut. And you go on Hard Knocks and you can't have it that way. You got to be open. I don't want that. I don't want that for the Broncos. No way, shape, or form do I want that. I don't want anything exposed. Heck no. Not one bit. However, the NFL and NFL Films have selected the Chicago Bears to serve as this year's team. Now, undoubtedly, that's because they got their quarterback, and I'm pretty sure that's Caleb Williams. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's why they chose them. And I think they wanted Denver Broncos because of Sean Payton, Bo Nix, the whole controversy of Russell Wilson, all that stuff. I think that's why they wanted Denver. I'm glad Denver said no. And I don't know if that's really they could say no. I don't know what the issue was, but I know that Sean Payton does not want to be on Hard Knocks. I know that for a fact. I've read it. He said many times he does not want that. Does not want that. So I'm glad that they are not going to be on Hard Knocks. I don't really watch that. I don't have HBO, so I don't see it. But anyways, I'm just glad that Broncos are not featured at all again this year. All right. Now, there has been name changes. Well, there's been uniform changes. We know about that. There's also been a name change. Okay, here we go. The Denver Broncos will don new uniforms this season, but that's not all that is new. Effective immediately, and those two words, effective immediately, and this is from last week, tells me something happened with the sponsor that the Broncos had. Let me continue. Effective immediately, the Broncos have renamed their current facility from Centra Health Training Center to Broncos Park, powered by Common Spirit. I have no idea what Common Spirit is. I was going to look it up, but I got derailed with that fire, literally not in my physical backyard of the house, but the backyard And I showed pictures earlier. So if you guys want to see that at the very beginning of the show, I'll show you. I showed pictures and the planes flying over and all that. So it was very, very unnerving. I didn't know if I was going to be able to do the show because of the fact that I was, focused on that. But thank goodness they got it under control and I was able to do the show. But anyways, I wasn't able to look up Common Spirit. But something must have happened between the agreement between Centura Health Training Center and the Denver Broncos organization ownership. The reason why I say that is because Centura Health was sponsored for, I think, only last year, maybe 2 years. But before that, it was, who was that before? It was, can't remember who it was before, but they were there for a long time. So it's striking that that would be a name change really quick, especially when it says effective immediately. That tells me something bad happened. Something very bad, negative. I don't know. Something obviously didn't go well. Let me continue. Also, the new makeover at $175 million will open in 2026. This is a new facilities. They're expanding it. Listen to this. The redone facility will be 3-story, 320,000 square foot building located on 26 acres. The groundbreaking will take place after this year's preseason to allow the fans to still go out there and enjoy the practices and things like that leading up to the preseason. After preseason, then they will begin breaking ground, and the new facility will be officially opened, hopefully barring any setbacks by the year 2026. All right. Last two topics, guys. Last two topics. One of them is right here, talking about the Ring of Fame and the Super Bowl 1977 Super Bowl year honored as well. Here we go. Steve Foley and Riley Odoms will be the newest members of the Denver Broncos Ring of Fame. They deserve it. Steve Foley was amazing. Riley Odoms too. They're just fantastic players back in the Orange Crush days, and they really deserve to be on the Ring of Fame. No doubt about it. Go back and watch some of their highlights. Put in Steve Foley, Denver Broncos, Steve Foley highlight, Riley Odoms highlights. Just phenomenal, great players. All right, I continue. This will also include the 1977 Orange Crush, hence the reason for wearing the orange shirt. Bronco hat, orange shirt for the Orange Crush. 1977 Orange Crush and Denver's first trip to the Super Bowl. This game where they will be honored will be against the Las Vegas Raiders. How coincidental, and I don't think it was by accident. When the Denver Broncos went to the Super Bowl in 1977, along the way, they had to defeat the then Oakland Raiders, who were the dominant team in the AFC West. The Raiders were dominant. I mean, they had, they had John Madden as their head coach. They had Kenny Stabler, Daryl Amani. They had Jack Tatum on defense, the assassin. They had Fred Biletnikoff. I mean, they had the team. They literally had the team. They were dominant. And the Denver Broncos took them down. Go back. You guys are interested, go to YouTube, type in 1977 Broncos Raiders playoff game. Fantastic. You guys will love it. It was played in Denver, by the way. Played in Denver. So it's ironic, and I say non-coincidental, it was planned, obviously, that the Orange Crush defense, or Orange Crush team, I should say, 1977 Super Bowl team will be honored, as well as Steve Foley and Riley Odoms, as those two go into the Ring of Fame. Now, I'm wondering if the 1977 team as a whole will go in the Ring of Fame. It didn't say that in the article, but now that I think about it, they're being honored as well. So why wouldn't they go in? Or what's the reason for just honoring them? I mean, sounds to me like they'd be going in as well. So that would be interesting. That would definitely be interesting. So, by the way, the 1977 Denver Broncos they lost to the Dallas Cowboys that year, and that crushed me. I was a second year Bronco fan, and I was a teenager, and that crushed me. My dad was a Cowboys fan, and it was fun going back to back. But when the Broncos lost, that crushed me. Pretty devastating for this guy as a teenager. All right, final topic of this week's show. Thanks again, guys, for spending an hour and 5 minutes plus on your busy Friday night. Really do appreciate it. As we wrap up this week's show, a nice little thing. Not nice, unless you want to put money on it, but a very interesting AFC West odds for winning the Super Bowl. Not getting to the Super Bowl, winning the Super Bowl. Listen to these odds. And if anybody of you are out there that really want to put some money down and take a shot, I mean, you could be a millionaire if you bet on the Denver Broncos with a certain amount of money. You can be a millionaire if the Denver Broncos win the Super Bowl this coming season. Here it is. The defending Super Bowl champs, Kansas City Chiefs, are not. What? The defending Super Bowl champs, Kansas City Chiefs, are not favored to three-peat. Well, nobody's ever three-peated. Denver Broncos went back-to-back. Kansas City Chiefs have gone back-to-back. Green Bay Packers in Super Bowl 1 and 2 went back-to-back. Nobody has ever gone three-peat. And the Chiefs right now are not favored to three-peat. Okay. Well, who's the favorite to win the Super Bowl this year? Okay. Let me get to that. Instead of the Chiefs, it's the San Francisco 49ers favored to win the Super Bowl at plus 550. Now, I could be wrong, guys. Anybody out there, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not a betting guy, so I don't know. But if it's plus 550, does that mean that for every dollar you put down, you could win $550? Or does that mean you have to put up $550? Excuse me, I hit the microphone. Or does that mean you have to put up $550 to win 100? Well, to me, that'd be stupid. Why would you do that? Why would you put $550 up to win 100? I think it's the other way around. I think it's for every dollar you put up, or for every 100 you put up, I think it's 100. For every 100 you put up, you could win 550. Okay? All right. I'll go with that. Hey, why not take a chance? Put $100 on the San Francisco 49ers, and if the 49ers win the Super Bowl, you get $550 plus your $100 back. Okay? Listen to the AFC West odds. Here we go. Like I mentioned, Kansas City Chiefs are at I didn't say. I'm sorry. I said the 49ers are 550 to win the Super Bowl. Kansas City Chiefs, AFC West, plus 600 to win the Super Bowl. Okay, right behind 49ers. Okay, that could go either way. Either way. LA Chargers, plus 5,000 to win the Super Bowl. I hope they don't even get close to that. I hope it's more at 500,000. I can't stand Chargers. All right. Raiders. Well, where's Denver? Oh, I'm getting to that. Raiders plus 8,000 to win the Super Bowl. Okay. Well, the Chiefs are plus 600. Chargers are plus 5,000. Raiders are plus 8,000. So what do you think? Think the Broncos are plus 10,000? Nope. 11? Think again. 12? Keep going. Keep going. 13, 14, 15, 16. No. Denver Broncos plus 15,000 to win the Super Bowl. So if I put $100 on the Denver Broncos and they win the Super Bowl, I could win 15 grand. What if I put up 1,000? I could win 150 grand. What if I put up more? I mean, it's just, you see what I'm saying, guys? 15,000 plus 15,000 to win the Super Bowl. Maybe that's why Pro Football Focus said that the Denver Broncos had the worst quarterback room. Because, well, 15 plus 15,000 to win the Super Bowl, when the Chargers are plus 5,000 and the Raiders are plus 8. Denver's been tripled by the Chargers and dang near doubled by the Raiders? Seriously. Maybe there is some validity to the Broncos not having the best quarterback room. I don't know. Only time will tell. Only time will tell. Only this season will tell. Only that quarterback room will tell. And if the Denver Broncos were to get the Super Bowl and win it, and somebody put up money on the Denver Broncos to win that Super Bowl, congratulations, my friend. You would be in the money big time. Absolutely in the money big time. That's it, guys. That's all I have. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you have not, please do so. It means the world. Subscribe to Broncos Breakdown on MHRT Network, as well as my channel, Broncos Breakdown on YouTube. Just look for this symbol right here on YouTube. Just hit the subscribe button, the thumbs up button. Really do appreciate it. Means a lot to me. I'm going to go down the list, guys, and thank each and every one of you for being in the chat. As always, if you're going to take the time to be in the chat and watch this crazy 65-year-old guy every Friday, least I can do is acknowledge the fact that you took that time. Madungus Creevy batted leadoff. He was in the chat first. You got Biggie Bronco batting second. You got Kilmer batting third. And then you've got, go down the list. You got D-Rock. D-Rock in the house. D-Rock, I'm sorry I missed you earlier on that, but D-Rock batting cleanup. Thank you so much, D-Rock, for being in there. It says Big Bill. Really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Go down the list. We got Alex Smith. Thank you, Alex, for being in the chat. Number 5. And then we got Wolfpack for Life 65. He's batting 6th. Really do appreciate it. And then Gregory Miller rounding it out, batting 7th. Really do appreciate each and every one of you. Like I said, taking the time to be in the chat on a busy Friday evening, wherever you may be. Really do appreciate it each and every week. You guys are the best. If it wasn't for you, this show would not be anywhere near what it is with you, each and every one of you watching, participating, and then subscribing and hitting the thumbs up. Thanks again, guys. Really appreciate it. Have a wonderful, wonderful, safe Friday evening. And enjoy your weekend. And we will talk to you next Friday at the same time, 5, 6, 7, and 8, Broncos Breakdown with me, this guy, Bronco Bill. Till then, guys, take care. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your weekend and week. We will see you next Friday. Till then, guys, take care. Bye-bye.
Fast lane when I pass in the street, bag of money in the passenger seat. Tempo's been asking for me on the road from the west to the east. Way up, I might never come down, cause the coast racking up the flight miles. So high, I might never come down, so what, this is my lifestyle. Wait a minute.